I found a box of vintage kitchen gadgets for sale online, but what I didn't know was some of them are brand new and never been used. So I bought them, and a few days later they arrived. So let's take a look. There's some really interesting things in here. Kitchen robot, multi-mooly grater, this saw, a good old-fashioned hand whisk, Tomato-matic, and this thing. Now I love these boxes, just look at the design. And, it's even got the instructions on the back. I think this dates from the 1970s, and the box is in remarkably good condition. It even says it was selected for the Design Centre London. Tomato-matic, the fancy flower tomato cutter. It just sounds brilliant. I can't wait to try this thing out. The box for this multi-mooly grater is far less interesting. Not much on here, but this thing looks a bit vicious. Saw for meat and frozen food. Ugh. But again, the box appears in very good condition. And check this out, it's called the Kitchen Robot. Kitchen Robot, the famous product imported from Solingen, which is a city in Germany which apparently is renowned for the manufacture of fine swords, knives, scissors and razors. But check out the box, beautiful and colourful with some really nice illustrations of how to use it. I did some research and found the company was founded in 1923 and they're still going today. That's pretty amazing. That's 101 years. I can't wait to see what it does. And wow, it's even got some instructions. And this thing pretty much looks brand new. I wonder if it's ever been used at all. Well, I'm definitely going to use it today. There's this blade here at the top and these 9 rolling blades. And I think... there we go, it opens up. It looks like you can change the configuration of it to use it in loads of different ways. Looking at it closely, it's all a bit grubby, so I'm definitely going to start by giving it a really good wash. I found this pin here on the side that you can pull out, so we can remove the roller cutters. There's a whole series of holes and slots in this thing, and I'm going to give it a really good scrub. Once it was all nice and clean, I gave it a little dry. And it's looking a lot better. So this blade at the front that slots in is quite a vicious looking thing, and I think it cuts in both directions. And looking at the box, the first way to use it is like a mandolin, and instead of having the blade at the front here, we can somehow clip it in the middle. I guess it slides in here. There's actually 2 slots at each side, so we can set it for a thicker or thinner slice. Then when I open it back up, that's clever, it locks the blade in place, and the instructions say it's suitable for cucumbers, carrots, potatoes, apples and pears. And I'm going to start with this carrot. Wow, that is super sharp. I was not expecting it to slice up a hard carrot quite as easily as that. And it cuts on the backstroke too. I'm impressed. It is a little bit harder when you get to the thicker end of the carrot. And of course, there's absolutely no finger protection with this either, so I'm being super cautious. But check that out, it's cut them perfectly. All neat and uniform. To make a thinner cut, we should be able to just pull the blade out and fit it in the slot underneath. And this time I'm going to try it with cucumber. Again, it's cutting it like butter. Oh, it dug in a bit there. But yeah, really quick and perfect uniform slices. Now, although it doesn't show it on the box anywhere, I think these slots here are so we can insert the roller blades like this, so we can use it to cut our produce into strips as well as slices. Let's give it a go. That seems like it's working, and yeah, look at that, little strips of cucumber. That's cool, but when I repositioned the blade back into the higher position and tried it, I found the circular blades didn't cut all the way through, and we get a piece which looks like this. But that is kind of cool. Now, make sure you stay tuned, because I'm going to be trying out the kitchen robot in these other configurations later. But next we're going to take a look at this, the Tomato-matic gadget. Again, it comes in a lovely box, which is in very good condition. Just a couple of little knocks. Slide it out, and first of all we got this, some kind of instruction sheet. And here's the utensil. It's sealed in this bag, and I'm pretty sure it's never been opened. Look at the yellowing on this piece of tape. That looks old. Again, I think this is from the 1970s, so around 50 years old. Here's a little product information and a guarantee. And here's the gadget. And whoa, check out those blades in the middle, they look vicious. It's got the Design Centre London sticker on the unit as well. And there's a clip each side, which I guess opens it. Oh, whoops. I'm not sure that was supposed to happen. It's all in pieces, but I guess that's a good opportunity to give it all a good wash before I try using it. Despite it all being pretty much brand new, I think it's best to give it a clean up. And I'm being particularly careful with these little blades. This little pamphlet it comes with is interesting, with quite a lot of information inside. And inside here, there's some detailed instructions with diagrams. But before we can use it, I've got to put it back together. Now, have you seen a blade like this before? It's a nice V-shape with this little lug on the bottom. There's 5 altogether, and I think they locate on these channels here. So I sat them all down in. Then I think this piece locates on top. That looks about right. Turn it over, and Ha, you can see how the blades slide back and forward in their channels. They retract away to conceal, or fully extended, it looks like this. That's cool. So I pushed them all in, ready to fit the top, and lined up the lugs. And although it looks right, it isn't, because nothing happens when I twist it. So I'm going to take the cover back off, and look, there's a couple of indicator marks here on each of the channels. I guess I'm supposed to reposition each of the blades into the center point, like this, before I refit the cover. Now let's put it all back together. And I'm refitting the clips which I took off initially that hold the whole thing together. And now when I twist the bottom, ha! Yes, it's actually working. Check that out, that looks vicious. I don't think I've ever seen a gadget like this before. I can't wait to try it out, so I'm taking a nice big tomato. I place it in the middle and, oh, it's a bit too big. It barely fits in at all, so I took a smaller one. And that fits in perfectly. Then I consulted the instructions on the back of the box quickly. I need to take a firm grip of the base here, and rotate the top, and it feels like it's doing something. There's a little bit of resistance, but not too much, and, well, let's try lifting it out. Well, hey, check it out. That's worked really well. Pretty cool, huh? It's very neat. You'd have to be very skilled to be able to do that with a knife. And if I open this piece back up, there's the other half. Check that out. Doesn't that look great? If you're enjoying this video, please do consider subscribing and giving it a like. It really does help. But look at this. They even sit back on top of each other. That is so cool. And a really fun way to brighten up a salad. So I'd say this gadget was great fun to use. It does give very good results. It feels nice and safe because you don't need to get your fingers anywhere near the blades. And although it really only does one job, it's not too big to store. Next up is this saw for meat and frozen food. The box looks pretty mint, take it out, and again the whole thing looks pretty much unused. But check out the teeth on this thing. Absolutely vicious. What an interesting design though, with a handle here at the top. Apparently it's made from rosewood, and I really like the way you grip it. It feels nice and secure. Now I couldn't really find much information about this, apart from the box says it's for meat and frozen food, so I figured I could test it by trying to cut this frozen leg of lamb. It's rock solid, and I guess if you just wanted to defrost half of it, it would be useful being able to cut it. But rather than cutting it in half, I'm going to keep my fingers well away. So I'm just going to try chopping the end off here, and to begin with it seems to be making pretty good progress. But obviously the deeper I get, the more difficult it becomes. Even just trying to hold it still while I cut is tricky. I'm really having to grip it tightly and push it down onto the chopping board, and it's making my hand feel really cold. Ooh. After a little break, I carried on, and it really is tricky now. I seem to be soaring and making very little progress. So let's go at it from a slightly different angle. I'm still getting through it, but this is surely more effort than it's worth. But eventually, after soaring and getting a very cold hand, I was through. There we are, check that out. I don't think there's many household kitchen utensils that would do that. But what do you think? Would you use this? It seems a bit too vicious for most things, and definitely one to be very careful with. I'm not really sure there's anything I'll be using it for. But take a look at this. It's a vintage lemon or lime squeezer. It's made from stainless steel, and it looks really cool. I'm going to give it a quick clean before trying it. It's nice and easy to clean, and it feels absolutely solid and robust. It's spring-loaded with a nice action. So I grabbed a lemon, chopped it in half, and let's see how well it works. It just sits in the strainer here. Give it a squeeze, and here comes the juice. I am squeezing it quite hard, so you do need strongish hands. But it does seem really effective. And take a look at that, it's all cleaned out. So I did the same with the second half, giving it a really good squeeze. And the little strainer here seems to work really well, collecting all the pips. What a great gadget. I think that might be my new favourite juicer. It does the job really well, there's no messing, and it's really easy to clean. But how about this vintage hand-powered whisk? I've not seen one of these for ages. And this one feels great, nice and sturdy. Oh, and it's even got a lovely little squeak as I turn it. They're so good, these things, with the meshing whisks. And it seems only right with this gadget to wash it by adding some washing up liquid to the water and giving it a whirl. Check out all those bubbles. And after giving it a proper clean down, it's ready to test. I'm going to start with something easy, so let's try beating 3 eggs. Place it down in, and yeah, that took seconds. Perfect for an omelette or something. But let's see how it does at whipping up cream. So I'm putting it down into the bowl and spinning it nice and quickly. After about 10 seconds, you can see not much has really changed. It's still really runny, so I'm carrying on, spinning and spinning. And now, after about a minute, check that out, it started thickening up. And beautiful whipped cream. I do love this gadget. It can be so handy for quite a lot of jobs. Egg white, sauces, milkshakes. It's really easy to clean, and it's nice not to have to bother with an electric one. But now, back to the kitchen robot. And the next configuration the box shows to use it is like this. So for this one, I think we need to fold it back and remove the blade. Then pull the pin out, so we can remove the cutting roller into the receiving slot and secure it with a pin. Fold the top back over, and it makes a nice handle. So now we've got a 9-bladed roller cutter. To start with, I'm going to try it with these soft pieces of cucumber that we cut. One quick pass, and yeah, it's cut them easily. Now I think this would be great for some fresh herbs. Just a few rolls back and forward, and it's minced them all up. That was quick. But what about something a bit tougher, like these spring onions? It doesn't look like it's working very well at all, to be honest. I'll keep working my way down, and I'm really pushing quite hard, but it's clearly not working. It looks like it's just making a bit of a mess. I think the kind of fibrous nature and all the layers of the spring onion is just a bit tough for it. You'd definitely be better to use a knife. Now, what I don't really understand is that the box seems to show number 2 configured in exactly the same way as number 3, just the roller cutter. That's a bit confusing, but it does show it's cutting some pastry, so I'll give that a go. Push it through and... there we go, lots of little strips. I guess you could use them for decorating a pie or something. Or with pasta dough, make your own tagliatelle. Now on to number 4. Is that peeling it? So this time we need to insert the blade here at the front, and we can leave the rollers in. So I'm going to try it down the side of this cucumber. And, oh yeah, that's done it nicely. If I cut another strip, you can see they're really big slices, far thicker than just peeling. And, it's got caught up a little there. It says to use it with carrot too, but this thing scares me a little. It's just so sharp. And, it snapped it in half. Let's try again down this side and... oh, no, it's really not very good. And it slices just so wide. I don't really understand the point of it. But on to number 5, and it looks like we can use it as a grater. So to do it, I need to remove the blade, then slide out the pin, and take out the roller cutter. And I'm going to try zesting this lemon. So we hold it this way around, gripping it nice and firmly. And to my surprise, that seems to be working really well. Look at that, it's zesting it beautifully. A minute later, and I'd completely zested it. It gives us these really nice sizes of peel. And I'm quite astonished that this plastic grater, made up from these small tiny little bumps, which are kind of difficult to see, works as well as that. That really is something. So, how do we rate this 50-year-old kitchen gadget? Well, firstly, I love the name and the packaging. It just looks great. The quality seems pretty good, to be fair. The blades are certainly very sharp. The plastic may be a little bit flimsy. And in terms of functionability, well, it's really nice and versatile. There's certainly a lot of ways to use it, which is great because it's easy to store. And for most of the tests I did with it, it worked well. Although I do think you have to be quite selective on the produce that you use with it, and maybe using it with some of the vegetables it shows on the box could be a little bit ambitious. Safety-wise though, it's pretty poor. You need to use it with extreme care, maybe with a protective glove. But despite it being so versatile, it is still small. So all in all, definitely a handy and well thought out gadget, despite it having some safety concerns. Next, this multi-mouli grater. A mouli grater is a hand-operated kitchen utensil designed for grating or pureeing small quantities of food. Now, I think this was made by a company called Moulinex, which was founded in 1937, and apparently the company designed and produced the mouli grater, and it was first patented in France in 1940. I think this model was built in the 70s. Here's the main body, with a handle that lifts up, and this hollow at the bottom to fit one of these 3 cutting drums. Now these definitely look used. Well, either that or they've just tarnished with age. This one's for slicing, then we've got a coarse and a fine grater, and here's the little handle. Again, I'm going to give it a good wash because I think this has been in the box for a very long time. I'm looking forward to testing this. Let's start with the slicer. It just slides in, then screw the handle on from the other side. Open up the cover, and you can see the drum rotating as I turn the handle. I'm going to try slicing up this little piece of ginger, and what's great about this design is, as you squeeze the handle, it applies a bit of pressure to the produce, keeping it in contact with the cutter. And there we go, with just a few twists. Check it out, nice slices of ginger. That's worked really well, even though the ginger's a bit fibrous. And now I'm going to swap out the drum for the coarse grater. And with that fitted, I'm going to test it out with a handful of nuts. I'll do it over this bowl, and I'm having to grip it quite firmly, but yeah, check that out. It's working really nicely. Keep turning and turning, and beautiful ground pieces of nut. Now, to test out the fine grater, I'm going to try it with chocolate. Keep turning, and oh, look at that. Oh, that smells lovely. It's working really well. Perfect little shavings, which you could use on top of a dessert, or maybe to sprinkle on a drink. But what a handy gadget, and amazing to think it was patented 84 years ago. Such a versatile little thing, you could use it with all sorts. It's fast, nice and easy to store, and pretty easy to clean too. So let me know in the comments which of these gadgets was your favourite, and if you'd like to see me testing some interesting modern kitchen gadgets, you can click on the link here. Have fun, stay safe, and as always, thanks for watching.